What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sterlinx. Once again, I'm with one of my top favorite topics in accounting and VAT, which is to do with Amazon sellers. So today's topic is about the top significant facts that you need to remember while you're selling in the UK and have a company in the UK or a business in the UK as an Amazon seller. So without wasting further time, let's jump into the topic and get this going. Number one on my list is keep your business and personal accounting separate. On multiple occasions, we also see our regular clients try to do that, and we inspire them to keep away from mixing up both of the things together. One of the major rules of tidy bookkeeping is to keep business and personal transactions distinct in separate accounts. Business owners often get befuddled by paying their new inventory order from their personal account or by paying miscellaneous personal bills with their business card. If you mix up business credit card, personal account, business account is all over the place, it's very difficult to do bookkeeping or keep track of actually what you're up to. So it's highly recommended that you have your personal expenses separated from your actual business expense. It's not very difficult, it's very easy. Now if you do have, for example, miles in your say for example in your business, such as like you've got a company car or vehicle, it is very easy to keep a record of how many miles you're actually traveling per trip, which relates to business only. Then you can get paid by miles rather than actually getting paid by receipts of the actual fuel cost. So that's one of the smarter way to separate it. However, other than that, if you're doing day-to-day shopping or spending something for yourself, look, it's not difficult, it's very easy. You just need to use your personal card for your personal expenses. Do not mix up the actual business expense, guys. If you do need money from the company for your personal expense, that's fine. You can just simply do a withdrawal with kind of like a reference number, director's withdrawal or dividend. Then your accountant, bookkeeper, or if it's ourselves, we can then basically say we record it as a director's withdrawal and basically put it into the right category so we can reconcile it properly for you. Right, number two on my list is file your taxes on time. You always need to make sure you file your taxes on time, and in the UK, HMRC has got strict policies on filing taxes on time. You've got no excuse. These and everything is digital here. So if you're looking at VAT, if you're looking at payroll, if you're looking at corporation tax, everything digital, guys. So it's a matter of preparing on time and pressing the button. It takes a minute for you to upload, and job done. Okay, that's how it is. So you need to file your tax on time to avoid penalties and such. We know a client has been paying for he or she had a VAT return, and only basically they had to pay like about £50 for that quarter, and for a couple of quarters they had to pay another £100 another £80, but their fines, actual penalties, were more than £100. So basically their actual fines and penalties compounded to a level that actually gone over the payment of the VAT. So it's no point wasting this kind of money. I mean, always pay your tax on time and pay your bills on time. So that's very important for you to make sure that you do file your taxes on time. Now if your accountant is not sending you reminders or doing this on time, I would say that's a very negative practice that you have currently in your organization. So you need to speak to your accountant, bookkeeper to absolutely organize that properly for you so all the deadlines are met correctly. And if you do need one, you can speak to us, we'll help you out. Delaying and excuses mean that critical things are missed out. Seller may fail to see vital information in a timely manner, or the business may find itself in complete mess and disorganized when it comes to critical times such as tax season. The best remedy for this is to go for end-to-end automation, including invoicing, the reordering of transactions, and accounts payable. So these are the habits and processes that you can implement in your Amazon business to make sure you prepare your tax and file on time. Number three, and a very important one, is that let qualified accounting consultants do the job. Information gathered from the internet and other public domains can help only to a certain extent and cannot be fully relied upon for authenticity. It's always better to get some professional advice wherever possible, at least in the beginning or at least at the time of filing taxes. The reason for it is basically, do you want to spend your time saving the £100 a month accountancy fee, where you could actually put that hours of time learning more about how to sell on Amazon or improve your stats, how to read more data, and how to improve your PPC campaigns, how to increase your ranking, and how to beat your competitors actual product that's beating your sales. Now, where do you want to focus? Ask yourself. So do you want to waste your energy or put your full energy and actual focus towards the little bit nitty-gritty of learning for saving the 50-100 quid a month from delegated to an accountant? Or do you want to actually implement your energy and your focus towards improving your business? Now, that's for you to answer. I can only inspire you and tell you the actual truth. So it's always worth outsourcing to a professional who knows what they're doing, and they will always do a much better job than you can do by doing small research or then research online, which is not going to be perfect, or there are possibilities of creating multiple errors that could come back and bite you later, where when the taxman was to, or if ever the taxman was to ask a question about what happened there and such. All right, so it's always worth asking a consultant or a qualified accountant to do the job for you, or hiring one, and basically it doesn't cost much money. The value you get is amazing. So let the qualified people do this type of work. Okay, where if it was to do with PPC or ranking or anything like this, you could possibly try them on your own, because you don't have to answer that to anybody. Okay, where the accounting and finance, you have to answer basically the government or the tax office, HMRC, which can be causing a bit of trouble for you later on. Number 4, and a good one on my list, is keep track of all your expenses. Complete digitalization means there can be items that are not automatically recorded. Any kind of cash purchases for that business needs to be recorded without fail. The way to ensure records are always accurate is to avoid using cash if at all possible. Effort should be made to use business credit or debit cards or electronic methods of payments. If you fully digitalize everything, it's a bit scary, because what if the software fails? So a prime example I can say to you is bridging software, something that actually brings the data from, for example, Amazon to Xero or QuickBooks. If you fully rely on that, there's a good possibility that things could go wrong, and we've seen that throughout our experience. We know clients had to pay multiple penalties and had to come back after years, from relying on this type of software. I'm not against the software, but what I'm saying to you is that you do have to make sure you keep a track on the software, or keep an eye on the software. Don't fully go to sleep thinking that software is doing its job on its own. There could be technical errors. It could be recording, missing transactions, or it could be recording partial, or it might be recording wrong or incorrect formula. End of the day, you're leaving it on a third party who is not a qualified accountant to import that data for you. So if you have somebody in that place to record that for you, do the bookkeeping, you can rely on the person. That person will handle the job carefully, because the person, even though they're using digitalization. Now, also you need to remember that try to use cash as less as possible, and try to use credit card, a business credit card I always recommend, and pay the credit card bill every month. Don't leave it at, all right? So you don't get interest and things like this. Most of the credit cards these days is basically without any interest if you were to pay the balance on a monthly basis. So these things will help you to keep a clean record of your actual expenses, using cards, using software, but making sure you speak to your bookkeeper to ensure that everything is running smoothly, or delegate it towards a bookkeeper, and also ensure that you keep everything within the business for business expenses. Number 5, and a very good one, guys, is to critical parameters to understand. Now, there are some critical parameters that you need to understand while you're operating an Amazon business in terms of the accounting and VAT. One of the biggest mistakes Amazon sellers commit is not factoring in Amazon fees properly when products are sourced and priced. It's important to know exactly what net margin is going to be for each product that is being sold. Fees are frequently the major chunk of expense of the Amazon seller. Some should be calculated for each product, because fees can work out to be up to 45 to 55%, although around 25% is standard. And that's the ultimate truth, guys. You do need to take this into factor before you even order any product from your supplier. That are your retail prices accurate? Is there a margin you can make profit with? So what you need to realize is that you need to calculate Amazon fees in advance with the ASIN or similar product from Amazon FBA calculator, and calculate all your expenses upfront, consider your marketing cost, storage cost, and everything. Then basically price the product. Otherwise, you could be cutting a loss rather than taking a loss rather than cutting the loss, and rather than taking a profit margin at home. So it's very important to calculate this, and that's one of the smallest but most important the accounting or calculative tasks that you can do in your Amazon business. Next on my list is be prepared for tax time, and it is one of the crucial ones as I covered earlier. Meeting the tax deadline is extremely important. However, on a yearly basis, you do have to do a lot more taxes than actual doing quarterly VAT or monthly payroll. The seller needs to take care of few important factors, such as deductions should not be claimed without original tax receipts. To avoid the risk of over or underreporting of income, there should be complete control over numbers. Sales tax is an important factor to consider. While going for the DIY route, the business owner should be aware of all the deductions, tax receipts, and everything need to be kept in place, and making sure that you have them ready for their final calculations during the tax time. If you don't have a proper record keeping practice in place, then you will struggle to do that. I've created other videos of day-to-day or general record keeping habits. Make sure to watch that. I will put that link down in the description below as well, and you'll be able to learn a bit more from there. And last on my list is you need to worry about bookkeeping throughout the fiscal year and not during just the tax time. What I mean is that think about bookkeeping a day-to-day task. All right, don't think about it's only due when the tax time is due. All right, I mean, you can do it while the tax time is due, but it's a lot of headache and a lot of things to go through, and you don't know where you're up to. It's extremely messy, guys. All right, you want to keep on top of your finances, so you know where you're up to with your business in terms of profit, in terms of expenses, in terms of what's coming, in terms of forecasting, so you can also plan your next inventory, if the business is working out for you, if it's worthwhile or not. For all these reasons, timely bookkeeping is extremely important. In addition to doing your taxes, you need to have accurate bookkeeping records. Timely, accurate, detailed accounting provides your business intelligence to arm you in making the most informed business decisions around sales, customer acquisition, inventory management, and operating expenses such as owner pay. If you're going to take a profit home, I mean, what are you going to take without even knowing what you have left in the business? And how do you know that without actually doing the bookkeeping? If you're taking just on a guess, well, I wouldn't recommend that. And there are lots of things to consider before you actually withdraw some money, like for example your sales forecast, for example your inventory management, for example your other day-to-day expenses, as well as monthly commitments just like staff wages, storage fees, 3PL, maybe the next shipment is due, tax payment maybe more due, or maybe a company credit card or debt is due, or loan is due to be paid. So there's a lot of things related to the actual regular bookkeeping. If you look deep down, without actual regular bookkeeping, it's kind of impossible to know what you can take, what you cannot take. Taking on a guess, that's not smart business in my opinion. So great. So I mean, this is about that video. I mean, I've fully covered the actual important facts that you should know as an Amazon seller in terms of accounting in the UK. In fact, it does imply towards the other countries as well, as not too much about HMRC rules here, but a lot to do with actual accounting as an Amazon seller. So if you like this video, press the like button, and if you do want me to produce more contents and put it in your inbox, press subscribe and the bell icon, and I will see you on that next one. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye bye now.